Oh, good.
Well, I missed everything that's
Yeah,
going
you
on.
missed all the fun stuff, man. Good timing, boy, I tell you.
Yeah.
I'll be going at the
Bring
next
your own
one,
paper to
so,
read.
I'll bless you with all kinds of fun stuff, maybe.
And
That's
you
what you,
definitely decided not to run next year.
well, I mean,
Hey, there you go.
I'll know more about it. I mean, I just, inkling right now because of work. I'm just
There's
really.
so much stuff going
Oh,
on.
You're outbreak.
yeah, that's just, but I'm not going to give it any more
Yeah.
thought until January or
Oh,
February.
yeah, you don't need to.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty. I thought that was a cake.
There's
I thought this was a sampling of your yard or something.
I just
Cut into
made this in honor of having Dot back. I wouldn't eat it. You might want to take it home.
Supposed to
Yeah,
be.
yeah.
He knows he's supposed to be. I don't think they're open anytime.
I was in New York. Did you see any shows up there when you were
Oh,
there?
no, I was in for small cities.
Oh,
Canada,
okay. Oh,
New York.
okay.
Can't hold his hand. I'll hold Jess's hand. I'll hold his.
I've never been in that part of the country. Have you? Up
New
the
York
New
City?
York? No, this
Yes.
is Canandaigua near
Oh,
Rochester.
No,
my
never been up there.
Oh my gosh, it's a beautiful part of our country.
He's out there.
Out here, upstate.
Oh, it's where the 5 Finger Lakes are.
Yeah.
Well, it isn't like.
And Canandaigua is right on one of the lakes. And the mayor is the chairman of the
Oh, goes, oh, you're right.
What?
That was wonderful.
Wow, boy, great.
And then I
So
went to
think about
Memphis,
it.
and then
Do
I
you
had
have
to
a
go
story?
to Seattle. My
They're
sister
one-uppers.
died.
I had to laugh about her
And then
Norway.
we were in, then I had to go back to D.C.
The parade.
Wow.
So-
Oh, you were.
And
Still,
I was
all
in
that stuff
Chicago
with
for
them.
Women in Municipal
Weird.
Government.
Oh, man.
I'm not going to
Weird
say all
fish
that
dinner.
under marriage.
Yeah?
We were out at
called?
we were out to Louisville last week. Our son had a baseball
That or
tournament there,
something. Some weird.
and we decided we'd never
Like
been
Norwegian
before, so
thing.
we
Oh, to Louisville.
took a few days
Louisville
off.
was a nice
Oh, we had a
town.
great
I
time
knew that. I
until the
wish I'd
rains
known you
hit.
were
Once the
going.
rains hit,
It's
Wednesday.
weird.
Mayor and all that.
Oh wow!
Oh, yeah. They
And
were-
we went. We played our first
Yeah.
game on Wednesday afternoon, and then the rains hit Wednesday night. Rained all day Thursday, all day Friday, all day Saturday. They canceled the tournament late Friday. So
Oh,
that was
you're
it.
We'll just,
kidding.
we'll
Fields were
defer
too
it till
warm.
next week.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, it's
so-
been terrible.
Yeah.
But we went to the Louisville.
And it's a fast one, so if you want to wait a couple extra minutes for me,
You see the park and saw the old buildings.
it might be 1 minute
See what,
tops.
What's that?
Might be 1 minute
I know
tops.
this wasn't even a 10-minute one.
Yeah.
Maybe 2.
For the University of Louisville,
I thought, man,
which is
5
really
minutes.
impressive.
Going easy on you.
Well, I appreciate it.
Very nice.
And someday make
I
it
was out there down
6:57.
You know, I had to talk a little bit
Oh,
yesterday.
they've done
Did you
a lot
see
of
up in
good
Oak
Told
Ridge,
Bill,
the
I
big deal with their
said,
beer
"Yeah,
board?
classic lighting down
They had to
there."
vote a member
Talking
off.
about it one time.
Oak Ridge.
Yeah.
Really?
Very, very nice. I
I
was
went,
impressed.
our beer
Easy
board
to
is
get
so
around.
boring.
Beautiful trolley system.
They're
Oh,
voting
my
members
God.
off.
Free trolley. It stops.
What are you asking for, Ron?
I don't know.
They have a separate beer board.
I saw
It's not
that.
the Board of Mayor and all.
I noticed that.
Development.
They must have had some excitement going on.
She hosted
Trust me, I've had some interesting characters on when I have.
Oh, goodness, I bet.
treated us royally.
Only imagine.
They were so good to us.
Yeah, I was very impressed. It was one of those things that I would certainly look forward to going back to. It's just unfortunate the
How's your other
rain.
son? Your older son?
He's getting his 4th year of medicine, so he's getting ready to apply internal medicine residency. Is what he's looking for now.
He's already finished medical.
Well, he's
Where-
his final year. His final
Where-
year.
where is he
Up
in
at the DO program at LMU, DCOM they call it, the Bus College of Austin, that thing. Yeah.
Oh, and is that, that's where is it?
Harrogate?
Oh, yeah, Harrogate, yeah.
Although he was only there for his first 2 years for classrooms, he's been on rotations ever since. So which is good. We're glad this time next year he'll be on his own dime because we're paying for his cost of living stuff.
That's
The
hard.
school helps out with some of that. but
Thank
they
you.
They don't do it all. So there he is.
Okay, Ron, I think we'll go and
Went to the
start.
Louisville.
All right, we'll go ahead.
Museum, saw your brother.
I'm going to call to order
Cool.
the July 11th, 2013 Farragut Beer Board. The first item on the agenda, we're actually going to postpone since we don't have enough members that were here to vote on the approval of the meeting minutes from June 27th. So I'm going to go right into the 2 items regarding approval for on-premise beer permits. The first one is for Snappy Tomato Pizza, 11507 Kingston Pike, and I want to welcome them back to our community. So.
Yes.
Yes, the purpose of this agenda item is to approve an on-premise beer permit for Snappy Tomato Pizza at 11507 Kingston Pike. The application and information are in order, and the staff recommends the approval of an on-premise beer permit for Snappy Tomato Pizza, 11507 Kingston Pike.
Does anyone in the audience or the applicant have any comments or anything? Okay. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
I'll second it.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Shall we read the minutes then?
Yeah, I'll tell you, Dot, I'll do the next approval, and then I'll go back to the minutes, if
Okay.
that's okay.
Yeah.
The next item on the agenda then is approval of on-premise beer permit for Restaurant Linderhof, 12740 Kingston Pike, Suite 106.
It looks like the applicant is not here, so we'll have to defer this till the next meeting as well.
Okay, thank you. All right, then I'm going to go back to item number 1, the approval of the minutes from June 27th, 2013. Does anybody have any comments or questions or needed changes on that? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve?
Thank you.
Second.
Thank
I
you.
will abstain since I wasn't here.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, minutes are approved, and that will bring to closure the July 11th, 2013 Farragut Beer Board.
Okay.
Good luck to you guys.
Yes,
Thank you.
good luck.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yep.
Is it in the same,
Should be doing the meeting tonight? Ralph?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
is it in the same is it in the same place where they are? Hey, Ron,
Yes,
is Snappy Tomato in the same place where it was?
yes,
Thanks.
same place.
Well, did they close it down? I didn't even know.
Yeah, for a few months.
They did. Well, it looks like it's 7 o'clock, and we will now start with the Farragut Board of Mayor and Aldermen. Would you please rise for a silent prayer? Do I see a scout in the audience? Would you like to come down and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, son. You must be here working on a badge. Since we don't have that much business tonight, do we need to approve the agenda? Or may I have a motion that we leave the agenda as written?
Motion to leave the agenda as written?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Under the mayor's report, Mayor McGill is not here with us tonight, but he is enjoying his vacation that he needs so very much, so we wish him well. Is there anyone here under Citizens Forum?
No, ma'am.
Okay, then we'll have the approval of the minutes as written. I will abstain since I was not here. These are the minutes for the meeting of June 27th.
I'll move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion approved. Under business items, the first item we have is approval of bids for a new 2013 right-of-way mowing tractor. Mr. McKelvey.
Good evening. I've got before you this evening the right-of-way tractor we put out for bids. The tractor, right-of-way tractor, the last couple of weeks and got bids back on it. This is a item that we had discussed with you all earlier in the year. We did a comparison with the Public Works Department, what it was going to cost for us to mow all the right-of-ways in town versus hiring an outside contractor, and we actually bid this out. And because the Public Works Department determined even if we buying the tractor, we could still do it cheaper than an outside contractor. That's what this agenda item is, for us to be able to do this. Our old tractor is wore out, numerous repairs the last couple of years, totaling a few $1,000s. So what we have this evening, we received 2 bids for a right-of-way tractor. It is a John Deere tractor, which is pictured up here with a side mount Alamo mowing unit on it. It's a 2-wheel drive tractor, fully enclosed unit. We received bids. The low bid is with CMI equipment for $80,347, and the recommendation by the staff is approval for this bid.
Well, just we had some issues with the current one. I was just curious if there's like a consumer reports for these kind of tractors. Can you check reliability? I mean, are we assured that this new brand that we're trying is going to be more reliable than what we just are using or came from?
We haven't done any consumer reports. John Deere typically, in what we have done with equipment with John Deere, whether it be with park mowers or with our original John Deere tractor that we did, we had excellent results out of the John Deere equipment. The Ford New Holland tractor that we have now, this is it's done its job for. But what we tried to do was extend its life a little bit too long, and that's part of, and part of it. It's done a fine job all the way up. The Ford New Holland is a little bit more expensive tractor, so we thought we would try the John Deere, and also we can get service on the John Deere in Maryville, where the New Holland we would have to take it to Athens to get service work done on it.
So the life expectancy of this piece of equipment for the use that you're putting it to would be how many years?
7, and pushing it would be 8. And it's not really. We haven't had issues with our tractor. We've had a couple. What we've had issues with typically is the mowing equipment. You've got a mower that's hanging out here on the side, and the guy's trying to drive it. And if somebody, if there's a stump or something on the side of the road and the lawnmower catches on it, it's just the grass gets up high. It's one of those situations where the mower takes most of the abuse, on this. And so we've pretty well wore it out.
Did we not receive any bids from Knoxville or Farragut?
There are no dealers in Knoxville for this piece of equipment. There used to be a John Deere dealership on John Deere Drive in Knoxville, and that was years ago, and we had actually gotten a piece of equipment from them a long time ago, but there is nobody in Knoxville that sells.
I was just curious.
Yeah, they don't sell this piece of equipment.
Hey, Bud, I'm curious too. Dot, were you finished?
Yes.
I'm curious, just looking at the bids on the back. We had Ritchie Tractor at bid 81,470, and then there's a parentheses down there, optional breakaway extension arm in parentheses. Is that on top of the mower? So it would be 90,000, or is that a credit? I'm trying to understand what that means. Do you see what I'm talking about?
Yeah, that's actually the low bid actually includes that breakaway mount.
Right.
And then Ritchie was putting it in as an option. It is an option, but it was
So
actually.
it would have been $90,000, their bid, versus 80,000 here for the same equipment
basically, yes,
package.
Sir. Yeah.
Well, that's a pretty clear choice then, isn't
Yeah.
it? Now, who's going to service this, though?
Ritchie can service this tractor.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, we've got a John Deere dealership in town, but they can only go to a certain size tractor, a certain horsepower, and they all are set up that way. There's a cutoff, and so Farragut Lawn and Tractor won't be able to service this size of tractor.
Okay.
Okay.
Any other comments on this proposed motion?
I'll move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Bud.
Our next order of business is approval of contract 2014-09, Mayor Bob Leonard Park Field Number 2, artificial turf installation.
Yes, as you know, this project has been funded at a rate up to 50%, up to $250,000 by the local Parks and Recreation Fund that is administered by the State of Tennessee Recreation Educational Services Department. This project includes the installation of the artificial turf along with some ADA improvements to the trail and a concrete pad for the bleachers. We received 4 bids on July 2nd, and staff is recommending the award of the contract to the lowest bidder, Playwright, for the installation of this artificial turf and the other items at a base price of $450,769. And this includes building the retaining wall, cutting sod from the field, and all the ADA accessible items also. Playwright also installed the fields at Farragut High School and Catholic High School, and we're given great recommendations from those coaches and athletic directors. Kyle Kaplan is here from Playwright, and I'm sure he'd be glad to talk with you a little bit about the artificial turf if you have any questions. And on the desk up there is a sample of it in the box, so if you want to look at it or touch it. So, any questions?
I was very impressed with the attestations from people that are already using this, and I was wondering if you could comment on the work that you did at Farragut and at Catholic, because obviously these two athletic directors raved about the quality of the time frame and what you were doing. I was just curious about the installation time frame as well for our project here in Farragut.
Sure, that's a great question. I think being a local company, we certainly take great pride in the work that we do here in Farragut and the greater Knoxville area. We're really proud of the work we did both at Knoxville Catholic High School and Farragut High School, and it means the world of us for those coaches and athletic directors to have that, to provide those recommendations. And so that's part of our motivation, getting up and going to work every single day, is hopefully y'all will provide that same recommendation after we have the opportunity to install your soccer field. As far as the time frame, it should be quite similar to our work at Knoxville Catholic. If we're able to start, our deadline is October 31st as part of this project. We're hoping to start as close to August 1st as possible. It's good to plan on at least about a month for the base preparation, and then about a month for the synthetic turf installation. Of course, we always, in our line of work, we're always dependent upon the weather, but should have plenty of time to finish and have a great result.
And the duration of this field, what could we expect for the kind of wear and tear that Ms. Stool and her operation intend to put it to?
That's a great question. And really it comes down to the wear and tear on a field is less in the amount of years as it is in the amount of hours of use. It's really hard to pinpoint a particular time frame. However, it is warranted for 8 years. And what I like to tell folks is the first fields that our manufacturer installed were in 2000. And those just need, and actually it was a soccer field, and those just needed to be replaced within the last year or two. So if that's our baseline that was installed in 2000, the technology of the synthetic turf, as you can see, is improved dramatically over that time period. It's not that old hard AstroTurf over concrete anymore. It looks, acts, and about feels like the real thing. So if that's our baseline, then that should be really good. We're hoping that all of our fields will last 10, 12, 15 years. Unfortunately, there's just no way to guarantee it.
From my understanding, you have a recycled product involved, the tires, the pellets, or?
Excuse me.
Yes, sir. The crumb rubber, as you can see there, you put a little bit of rubber into the fibers there. That actually helps stand up all the fires. It also helps add safety to the field so that when folks fall, it doesn't hurt. But that is all 100% recycled material from tires. So there are a lot of actually sustainability benefits to it. Studies have shown that every square foot of turf actually saves up to 55 gallons of water per year if you're watering the field. So one field will actually save between 500,000 gallons and 1 million gallons per year. The town of Farragut wouldn't have to pay to water that field. And certainly the trade-off with a natural grass field is you always want it to look good, but every time you use it, it deteriorates a little bit. And so the great thing about synthetic turf is you can use it all day, every day, and it's going to look just as great as long as you maintain it.
Now, how do you attach it to the ground?
That's a good question. So we install an aggregate stone base, and then the turf is quite heavy, actually, and I can attest to that because we get out there and pull it around. And I invite you to come take a look if you'd like. It certainly we'll take a look. And they're actually 5 pounds of infill, that sand and rubber per square foot. So it actually lays right on top of the rock, and we secure it to a concrete base around the perimeter, a concrete border, around the perimeter. But it's not going anywhere. It's quite heavy.
Does it all come in one piece, or is it a piece?
It doesn't. It comes in
It's too big, I
15
know, obviously, to become in one piece.
15-foot rolls, and we'll actually seam it together. We have a very special type of tape and glue, highest quality on the market, so that it adheres and is strong. It's not coming up. So that's how we seam it together.
Sue, what type of utilization are we looking for this field once it becomes online?
A lot. We've got groups that have been chomping at the bit, so we hope to open November 1st, and we expect a pretty heavy use on it. It'll be a little bit dependent on the weather because while people will play in pretty severe weather, sometimes it'll be too cold or too wet, not because of the field, but because of the players. But we've had a lot of interest, and we have a lot of groups from football, soccer, lacrosse, ultimate frisbee, you name it, and we'll be really the only public field in town that'll be able to handle this. So we're very excited about it.
Are there markings on this turf for these different sports, or is this something that can be applied with a usual chalk base kind of thing?
Right. There will be a regulation soccer field lines. They're actually, for the most part, tufted into the actual turf, white lines. So those will be essentially permanent. For lacrosse or other sports, some companies do make a temporary paint specifically for synthetic turf that can be applied for those sports. And over time, you can clean them off or they're kind of wear out with the rain. But soccer will always be there.
Just curious if we can get a Town of Farragut logo like the high schools do.
We can do it.
For a little extra money.
Yeah, figure that much.
Well, thank you, sir, very much for being here tonight. And are there any other comments from the alderman?
I'll move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Sounds good.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, sir, very much
Thank
for
you.
being here. Under ordinance, our first reading is ordinance 13-20, an ordinance request for abandonment of the right-of-way of Old Snyder Road, right-of-way at North Campbell Station Road, located between parcels 122 and 123.02, tax map 130, Farragut Municipal Code, Title 16, Chapter 3, Road Closing or Terminating Policy. Eddie Karen, Marathon Gas Station applicant.
The property in question is the Old Snyder Road that was recently closed. It's just north of the Marathon gas station. It's the kind of across there from where the Comfort Suites is. If you've been out there, you're well aware that it's closed with the opening of the new Snyder Road back in end of November. This area was closed. The property owner that is requesting this is the one that's on the south side of the Old Snyder Road, Mr. Karani, has requested it per our ordinance in the municipal code. The Planning Commission reviewed this request and they concurred with staff that this request is premature. Since the road project was just recently completed, we are uncertain of future needs in the area. And so the staff recommends denial of ordinance 1320, and the Planning Commission also unanimously recommended denial of ordinance 1320.
And I'll just echo what Ruth said. You know, we talked about, actually had two different meetings at the Planning Commission.
Mhm.
One was basically a real short workshop, and the other one was a formal agenda item. But, you know, this is, I think Noah Myers really summed it up best. You know, this is an asset of the town, and since we don't know what the long-term plans are for that part of our community, and this gentleman, and I applaud him for having the desire to take over that piece of property. But as you see in his letter, he says, if you give it to me, I'll take it. If not, I have no interest. So, you know, we're like, we don't want to give away an asset of the town. So everybody felt we needed to keep this.
Yeah, how much
And-
land is it? I wasn't able to tell from the,
And the applicant
drawing
isn't here, is he, Ruth?
No,
It's
he's not.
basically
It's approximately
Yeah, I see a
160
picture of it. I
feet
can't
by
remember.
60 feet.
I think it's about, was it about 200 feet long?
It's about 160
160.
feet.
160 feet long. How wide is it?
It's approximately 60 feet. You can tell by the aerial photograph that's on the overhead there that it varies through there, but the average is about 60 feet.
Okay, I've got a little drawing here that says Exhibit A. It has a block out of a little,
Yes, that's the exhibit to the ordinance.
so that's the actual tract, that little piece right there that's blocked out.
Yes.
I'm kind of curious why it, who owns beyond that to the east?
To the east is the actual road that's still open.
No, just to the east of the,
Yeah, that road is still there.
That road is still open.
Where's it gonna terminate then? In the gas station parking lot?
That's where it goes
Yes,
right now.
that actually is a back access, a rear access to the gas station. You can cut through the gas station and go back out on Old Snyder Road and go straight down to the hotel. At the hotel, you can turn left and go back up to the New Snyder Road.
So, if I understand this right, if you want to get to the hotels and things that are along there that have been kind of cut off, you have to go up to New Snyder Road, come over and loop back, or cut through the parking lot of this.
Right.
Yeah, I don't see why we would necessarily want to make it more difficult for people to get to those motels back there. It looks like there'd be some interest in keeping that road open.
Well, it's all, you know, it's
It's
already
already
closed.
closed.
It's already, it's grass right now.
Can you show some pictures of that? Alderman, we have a couple pictures. Yeah, you can see it right here where it's already grassed in.
Oh, I see it now.
That's the area that heads towards North Campbell Station Road. So that's already been closed at that area.
But that's the piece of property he wants right there that
Right.
we're seeing?
That's correct.
Okay, well, yeah, I think,
That's a good one. Keep it on.
I think it is a little too early to be giving that away. Well, then just giving land away. Nobody ever gave me any land. I think probably want to study
I'll
on
give
that
you
a
a
little
little piece
bit.
of turf. We've got some in a box.
Now I need some land to put it on, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to make a motion to approve it, but my intent behind is to follow proper procedure. My vote will be to deny it, but I'm going to make a motion to approve the request for abandonment of the right-of-way of Old Snyder Road.
Second.
All those in favor? Say aye. Aye. Everybody?
No,
Any no?
I
No,
opposed
no,
it.
I'm
Those-
sorry.
You're
No,
Say aye.
right.
It's the exact
All those
opposite.
opposed?
Confusing.
No.
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 Okay, now we got it right. Okay, then that means that the first reading of the ordinance 13-20 fails. Any other comments about it? If not, we'll hear from our town administrator.
I have nothing to report tonight.
And we have no attorney present, so this is a very short meeting. Do you think I beat Ralph out?
Good job.
As far as he knows, you
The
did.
meeting is closed. Getting back to the fields. Can you put back up the picture of the fields?